Hi there. Today I want to share with you one of my most frequently asked questions from parents and carers. And that is, tell me what to say. Can you give me a script of what to say when, especially around the dining room table or the kitchen table, when there's a battle that's just kicking off around food? And you're probably not going to like this response. But what I have come to see is that you know best what to say, not me. And so let me share with you what I mean by that, and actually why this is helpful, rather than me giving you some direct scripts to say. So one of the things, and I have shared this before in a Facebook Live, if you scroll back through, maybe about 18 months ago. But one of the things that I find, or I found when B was ill, was that if I was caught up in my thinking, if I was coming from a hugely stressed out place, then I had no idea what to say. What I often did say, what I found coming out of my mouth was never helpful, because I had so much noise going on in my head. When I was in a much more balanced, calm place, then I found naturally that I seemed to say the right thing, or at least something that wasn't unhelpful. So what do I mean by all of that? Well, when we are coming from a place of fear, which is completely understandable, then you can just imagine the feeling in your own body, right? Of when you're fearful, I feel kind of like I've got a vice in my head, and all I can think about is the fear. All I can think about is the catastrophizing of my own thinking and where this is going to go and what's going to happen and where we're going to end up, and I'm racing off into the future. So it's kind of reasonable, really, to think that I haven't got space for creativity, if you like. I haven't got space for calm. I haven't got space for wisdom when I am so fraught and tense. And the opposite is true, that when I'm coming from a much more calmer place, and I'd call that a place of love, I can still have anxious thinking, but I don't get carried away. I don't catastrophize. I'm not in fear. And from that space, from that place, I've got more room to allow my own natural wisdom, if you like, to come up and to say something that's more helpful. I hope that you can hear something in that for you. So if you think about this from the perspective of your loved one, all right, when they are faced with a plate of food or a decision or a choice they have to make, if they are caught up in their own thinking, then they're going to be doing the same kind of catastrophizing as well, coming from a fear-based place. All right, and you can hear it in their voice, I'm sure. I certainly could when B was caught up. And I'd say that that's the eating disorder voice, the eating disorder thinking that's kind of front and center for them in that moment. So if they're coming from that place and you're coming from your caught up place, is it any wonder? And there's no judgment in this. Okay, this is natural. This is what's happening. This is what I experienced so often. And I'm sure that you are too. But what if, when they're coming from that space, you were able to get behind their words? You were able to see what they really meant. And then how would you respond from that? Now, of course, sometimes you're going to be able to do this and other times you're not. But when you can take the heat out of the situation, when you can see that when they're shouting at you, maybe, I can't eat what's on my plate, why are you always having a go at me, can't you just leave me alone, there's nothing wrong with me, okay, all of that, what are they really saying? What is your son or daughter or whoever it is that you love, your partner, whoever it is you're caring for, what are they really saying? They're deep down. If they were coming from that place of love, that knowing within themselves. So have a think what they might be really trying to say. And, you know, in hindsight, if I think back to some of the things that B might have been saying when she was pushing at me, and she was probably saying, I'm scared. I'm frightened. I don't like how I'm feeling. Help me. All right? And as I say, those aren't the words that are coming out of their mouth, but those are the words that are going on inside. Because let's be honest here, nobody in their right mind would choose to have an eating disorder. So for us as parents and carers, it's helping us that the more composed we can be, and not in an artificial way, but the more at peace we can be, not frightened by their outbursts, frightened by the eating disorder, then the more chance we've got to actually see behind their words to what they're really saying. And from that space, you know exactly what to say. So do you see how me giving you script isn't necessarily helpful? You know, if anything, what I would say to you is what I've just shared in this video. See behind their words to what they're really trying to communicate with you. And then you'll come up with something different. I think what I might have said to be are things like, this looks really tough for you. I'm here. I love you. And the impact of that could have been quite different. So I hope that's helpful for you. Do come back with any questions that you might have, because I am here to support you on your journey as you're caring for a loved one. And I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.